Hello, everyone. Hello, all beautiful. Yeah, you're making me nervous, Nan.
Good. Hello from beautiful Ottawa,
I was-
the capital of Canada.
hello. We're located in Ottawa, the capital of Canada. This is episode 12. This is Two Monkeys on a Microphone, and we're joined here today with a special guest, Susan Charrier.
Yay! Very, very
Yay.
special indeed. She is the sweetest, the most awesome person I've ever talked to, and I'm so glad that she is on our podcast today. Last time we talked to Mike Charrier, and that was awesome. But now this is even better because now we get to hear Susan Charrier's side of the story. So it's gonna be cool.
Good.
I want to hear about, all the time that Jacques embarrassed himself as a kid or something.
So yeah, we got my grandpa on last time, and now we've got grandma on. And maybe next podcast we'll get the little dog on. Grandma
So the whole
and grandpa
family.
have a special little child named Archie, who's a dog. Do you know what breed he is?
He's part Maltese and part Shih Tzu.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he's a hybrid,
he's a hybrid. He's a mutt. Mm,
kind of like me,
exactly.
Hybrid.
except the mutt part. So
So,
it's just gonna be. Oh,
yeah, no, sorry.
sorry to
Go
cut
ahead.
you off.
No, it's okay.
Oh, you could.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like,
I was just
Ethan's
gonna,
from Vietnam.
yeah.
What do you want to know?
Well, firstly, I just, it would be great if we can hear you introduce a little bit about yourself. We know Mr. Charrier was a major in the military, and now he's retired. And I'm kind of curious to, your story and what was your occupations and things like that. Just a basic, very.
Things I should know if I can remember.
yeah. So maybe just a quick description about yourself.
Okay. I'm an 86-year-old lady with a short memory and brain freeze from time to time. Born in the West, in Western Canada on a farm. Brought up in Ontario, became a nurse, married the handsome military man, still married to the handsome military man, but only just barely. Ended up with 2 children, 3 grandchildren,
Three?
and 2 great-grandchildren.
Wow.
So, yeah, and a series of dogs and cats and birds and guppies and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's me in a nutshell.
Mrs. Jerry, we're so glad to have you on.
Thanks very much for that.
Yeah. Thank you for your time. That was a great podcast episode. See us next time for the podcast episode on Archie.
Okay, but in all seriousness, thank you so much for spending the time. Like I said, I'm so excited for this episode. I've always wanted to know a little bit more about Jacques.
Yeah, because you know a lot about me, Ethan, but I don't know very much about you. I
Oh,
know
you do.
have
Come on.
yeah. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but
But I guess, yeah. I was just gonna ask. So let's start with a little bit of history. Can you tell me how Jacques was like when he grew up? I'm so excited.
How
Jacques was like when he was
I
a kid.
like when I grew up.
Oh, you don't want to know about me. You want to know about him. All the secrets about him.
No, I wanna hear your story. When it comes to Jacques.
Okay. Well, to begin with, they were living in England, in Cambridge, and my husband bought me a ticket to go over for when he was supposed to be born,
Oh.
which was really nice. I was lovely looking forward to that. And then lo and behold, he went and got born 2 weeks early. 2 weeks early?
How dare you, Jacques?
Early or something. So I had to pay for my own ticket to go over and see him when he was born. And a homely little fellow he was too. But but yeah, so I stayed there and helped out as much as I could. And he turned out to be a pretty cute little boy after a little while. So then they came back and forth to Canada to see us, and then moved to Regina. And for one of the first times he came, my other grandchild managed to catch his hand in the door, in the bathroom door. And so his mother wasn't keen about coming back after that because, he still got a little bit of a problem with the hand. So just see him from time to time. I went west when his mother had to go and look after her grandmother, and we had a great time. He was a really cute kid. He even listened to me. We both got very lost in Regina, and I was relying on him for directions, and he was relying on me for directions. So we had a little bit of a problem there. But otherwise, he's been a great grandson. I mean, now I launched into all the wonderful things that he is, but you know that already. He's a good guy. He's a really wonderful grandson.
He is. He truly is.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I'll get you back for this, Ethan.
Sure.
I can't believe you tricked me.
I didn't go into all the bad things, but I won't.
I don't think there's any bad thing that you can say about him. I'm sure you love him very much.
Oh, yeah.
I know what you're doing, Ethan.
So I'd like to know, you've got a very interesting name, Ethan.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't think Vietnamese names were something like Ethan, which is very British.
No, it's actually an English name. I can just pick one, I actually have a Vietnamese name. Ethan is just my English
what
name.
Is the Vietnamese? What's the Vietnamamese name?
Okay. Okay. It's gonna be hard, but I'll just say it. Okay. So it's Lương Hoài Bảo Toàn. It's a very long name.
And what did you get it?
I just call him Toan.
Yeah, that's my first name. Yeah.
Go on.
Yes, that's my first name.
Okay.
Yeah. But just.
It's a very nice name.
Oh, thank you.
And what?
The cat. I'm sorry.
Good for the cat. So where did you get Ethan from Choan?
Well, because it's kind of difficult because English name usually they don't have a lot of meaning. I don't think people pay a lot of attention to English name meanings. My name, however, has a lot of meanings, and I just go over the list, and I saw Ethan, and I was like, Ethan, Dang, it's kind of the same. It clicks, So I just go with it.
So you chose it.
Yes, I chose it myself. It was years ago.
You chose your name.
Yep.
You didn't choose the Chohan, but you did choose the Ethan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. My name, my mom picked it for me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had her
Do you
last
have a
name.
middle name?
Yeah. It's Hoài Bảo. So yeah. So it's a very long name. Lương Hoài Bảo Toàn. Yeah.
That takes a lot of space.
It is. You can imagine. Yeah. Oh my God. This is why I just love Ethan. I can just put it down Ethan Lương, which is it's so much easier. It's not like I don't like my name. It just makes things easier.
Like your name?
I do.
I think there's a lovely cadence to it.
Oh yeah.
And I think the longer name you have, the more important you seem. So isn't that right? So we had a lady next door who kept in international students, and one of them that were very favorite was Bao, B-A-O, Bao,
okay.
from Vietnam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and he stayed, and he was a wonderful badminton player. And I think I don't know, he's gone now. We can't find him anymore. But I think he wanted a badminton scholarship.
Oh.
He was that good.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, very, very fast. Yeah. So you better take up badminton.
I was looking at Jacques because I know that Jacques played badminton at some point.
I didn't play badminton.
Oh, you did? Okay.
However, I was thinking about, remember how our children episode and talking about children?
Yeah.
And said, your daughter's going to be a pro basketball player?
Yeah.
Well, maybe badminton's the better idea.
Badminton's good. I'm just making sure. I've got a very important message coming in, so talk to.
Okay.
Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, don't
It's
worry
a busy day for us, but
wow. Well, thank you so much for making the time. While you.
It's wonderful. I really enjoyed this podcast.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Ethan, you're kind of putting us to shame. Canadians are supposed to be the ones apologizing and saying thank you.
That's right.
No.
So anyway, Ethan, Chow Mein, Chow.
You can just call me Ethan.
Yeah.
That's probably easier.
That's what I do. It's
Okay.
a lot easier.
Ethan from Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to know that I haven't told you already? No more stories about Jacques. He's sort of uninteresting. We don't want to have a lot of talk about him. Yeah.
Well, I'm very curious about your past, if that's okay. But I guess the first thing that came into mind was how did you meet your husband? Because he told me a little bit about that story, but I want to hear your story because I know that you were staying in Germany, and I was kind of curious, how did you stay in Germany and
Okay.
that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. As I said, I was born in the West,
Mm-hmm.
in the prairies, and my father went into the military. Was in the military, and once the war was over, the Second World War was over, we ended up in Ontario,
Oh. Okay.
where I got my education. If you know Canada, one is in the middle of the country, and the other is closer here.
Yeah.
And so we were living next door to my very best friend, who was 2 years older than me, and she quit school early. I didn't, but she did, and she was working at an army base, very close to the town, and there was a big ball coming up on the army base. Now, an army ball is special. I mean, it's a long dress and it's a corsage, and you have your hair done. So she had a date, and then Mike, him,
The
phoned
guy.
and asked her for a date, and she said, no, I can't, but my neighbor can. And so she gave him my number. And she ran and she hopped. We had a fence between our houses, and she jumped over the fence and ran to the door and said, "Say yes, say yes." And I said, "Say yes, so what? Doesn't matter." And the phone was ringing. So I picked up and I said yes. So I went to the ball with Mike, and that was the beginning. We lived in different cities, and he kept borrowing his brother's car to come down and see me. He wasn't supposed to, but he did. And so then that was how I met him.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and life's never been the same since, Ethan.
Yeah. Okay.
You can see why Pop loved this.
Yeah.
So viewers, because we have our cameras on, we can, Nan and I can see Ethan, and we can see his cat always walking across the screen.
That's very rude, by the way. The cat.
Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely.
We're gonna have a talk later, Mister.
No cookies.
How did you meet Zach? How did you meet Jack?
I mean, well, it was a very, how to say, so I had a chance to visit Canada last year. It was a program in Jacques University. I got a scholarship. I got 3 scholarships for that trip from the U of R, from UMass Canada, and from my university. And they bought the ticket for me, and I joined the program. Jacques was the first person that I met during that trip. It was so, I still remember the very second I landed down Regina. Everything was very exciting. The weather was very beautiful. I was tired, but I couldn't think of anything else other than, I want to see Regina and stuff. And the first person that I met was Jacques. He was standing right next to his coworker. I think it was Dina. Dina was holding the sign.
I was alone.
I don't.
No one there.
Okay.
It was just you and me.
No. I do remember that story. So Dina was
Hey,
like, okay.
I'm the one with the bad memory. I'm the one with the bad memory here. Come on.
You met Dina at the university.
No, I met Dina first because she was the one that held the sign. I remember that part. She held the sign.
No, it was just you and me, Ethan.
No,
You had video of it. You took a video.
I do. Okay. Hold on.
And it was just me and you.
Hold
and then
on.
we met at the university, and we walked around the university, and then I offered to walk you to McDonald's, but then we had to part ways because various reasons.
Various reasons. So basically, I met Jacques' coworkers first, and then she had to go somewhere. I think it was picking up somewhere else. I think Chelsea was there, so she had to pick someone else, and then Jacques and I was kind of just standing there, and he was like, "You know what, Ethan? Let's stand here and wait for your baggage together." And that's how it started. We just stood there for 10 minutes. I didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say. We kind of just look at each other. I was hoping that he would say something, and then he said something. That was really funny.
It was a great meeting, a very wonderful meeting. But I can't believe he's misremembered it this much.
I remembered everything.
But you know what? It's fine.
Okay.
I have a question for Susan. We call over here her Nan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the question.
Well, no,
Yes, over here we call me Nan. Yeah.
but
Thank you very much for the question.
I can ask. So Nan, you're a very, very artistic person who's made beautiful, who's known for making spectacular birthday cards.
Oh, that's so cool.
Painted, and she, sends them off, and it's always
Rip them up. Yeah.
throw them in the recycling. No, and it's always a delight opening up her letter and then finding the beautiful card inside.
That's
And
so
there's
sweet.
always a special message with a poem, and every word. So, as you know, when you write a word, it's compromised. There's letters within the word. Each letter is a different color,
Wow.
which must take forever to do.
Takes me forever. Yeah. When it's a birthday card, a month ahead, I spent the whole time working on this friggin' card, and then it goes in the dustbin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I keep all my cards. I don't know about anyone else, but I have a whole stack of them. And my question is,
Finally.
what inspired you to pursue art?
That's a hard one.
Well, I think you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I come from an artistic family.
Oh.
And unfortunately, by the time it got to me, it's really dribbled down to just a little tiny bit left there. But that little bit is the only thing I can do is our cards. My aunt, my oldest aunt, was a famous sculptor,
Wow.
plus a painter.
Oh.
And if you're very lucky sometime, we'll show you something that she's done.
Oh,
And
please.
so she was in England, brought up in England, went to the Slade School of Art, and then came to Canada. And she's been painting. We should show the horses sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Painting and sculpting. And then
Goodness.
her son was a good architect, and he also painted cards. So he said, "Try painting cards, Susan." So I did. So that's what's happened with me. And his cards are all up on my walls, and my cards have all gone in the dustbin. But that's okay. I've had a lot of fun doing the cards. Yeah. And then I have a very artistic grandson. Not this one. I have another one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If the artistic talent slowly dripped down to Nan, by the time it got to me, it was like a dry lemon.
Hey,
It's a
I
very
mean,
artistic dry lemon. Yeah. Yeah.
it is. I seen your art, Jacques. It's great. Come on, give yourself some credit.
Thank you. I'm kind of questioning our past now from your description of our first meeting, Ethan.
What do you mean?
I mean, you think Everybody else was there. Dina was there. Dina must have made a very strong impression on his mind.
Stronger than me, of course.
I can see. And sort of often on the side was this other fella, kind of a geeky big fella standing over here, wanting to be noticed. Yeah.
I just happened to be the one who started the podcast. I think if anyone else had asked him,
Dina, obviously, if Dina had asked him,
I wouldn't be here right now.
you wouldn't even read an interview. So there you go. Yeah.
Do you have another question for Nan, Ethan?
Hold on, I feel like I have to defend myself here.
Okay.
Can
The
you
court
ask-
is inside.
Can you ask a very long-winded question? Because we're almost out of time, and I can have a very short answer.
Oh yeah, so I'm so excited about this conversation. I still haven't figured out what to ask. There's so many things to ask. Like,
I'll ask a question and then you think of one, okay, Ethan?
no, because
Get your thoughts and. Okay.
Mr. Charrier is the guest. Okay, I have the question.
Oh, he has a question.
Okay.
He has a question.
I don't know that one.
So, what's your favorite memory of Jacques?
Of Jack.
Yeah.
I see a common theme here.
Yeah, I see a trend. Okay. What's my favorite memory of you?
There ain't many memories of me, I'm guessing.
I think just every memory that every time I've met him has been a special memory.
Oh my goodness, my heart is.
He was such a cute. He was an absolutely adorable baby, a beautiful little boy, and he was really clever right from the beginning. I think everyone is clever at a certain time, and he was clever around 8, and then since then it's kind of gone downhill, a little bit. But he's that maybe when he was 8 and very clever, and he was around taking pictures with a great big camera. That was probably my favorite memory.
That's
and
so
this
cute.
one right here because he's roped me into this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm really questioning my friends and family. They can't seem to remember anything about me. Just, he was a great person. I guess I don't really leave a strong impression then. Eh? Anyway, I have a question for Nan. So, you've done many different careers. You've been you worked at a grocery store, was it, as a secretary? No, okay. Well, did some kind of accounting.
Really remembering me very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did accounting. You did nursing. Anything else you did?
I guess the best thing I did for myself was going to university when I was about 45. And all of a sudden, I decided maybe I'd like to go to university. So I went the first time, and I went into English and history. And I was 45, and I felt pretty old. I was working at the same time. And walked into the classroom, and I looked around, and all these young kids were there, and I thought, I'm in the wrong spot. I sat down in a corner with my notebook, and I took every word that the professor said, all wrote it down fast. And then I looked around, and there were all these kids looking at me, smiling, and they wanted to talk. And it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. So I went through university, and I got my highest honors in English and history. And I managed to graduate before I became an old-timer. And I had a wonderful time. So that's probably one of my best. Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling a bit out of place. I've got top 5 in his university, and I've got 45.
Highest 45.
Graduated with high honors.
Highest honor, not just high.
And here I am, just with a pink microphone, and no one can remember anything about me.
He's tall and he's handsome and he's charming. Yeah, that's what I think. Okay.
That doesn't seem very specific, though. No one has been able to pinpoint a specific thing I've ever done.
Well, when people, meet you for the first time and forget you, I think Yeah.
It's kind of like Archie. Every time I come up the stairs and he barks at me, totally forgot who I am.
Yeah. The poor fellow. He's really hard
The
done by.
poor
You
fellow.
know? It's a shame.
I
It's
can
just a
tell.
shame.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Life has kicked him
We
down.
try and make up for it, but it's
We
hard,
do.
you know.
We do. It's
Yeah.
very difficult.
Yeah.
But Mrs. Charrier, I have to say, it's your family. It's so. Oh my God! Like, I'm running out of words, but it's so amazing to know. You know, like how you grew up, every little story that you had, and every you lived for very long, and I'm very sure that a lot of things happened. And listening to those stories, it just makes me feel. It makes me feel like I want to be alive. I want to have the things that you have. I want to, I don't know, sit down to a college class when I'm 40 and feel happy that I'm there. It's amazing. I just don't know how.
Ethan, you're going to be going to see your mother soon, right?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's gonna be kind of cool.
yeah. Well, Jacques, I must say that I'm very jealous of you. Like, I'm really, really jealous of you.
No, you don't have to be jealous.
No,
Jealous.
because no, it's not like, oh, I'm jealous of you. I want you to be bad, worse than me. No, I'm just saying that I think everything that you have is something that I've always wanted. And like, if you ask me about my family, I don't know much about my family. I gotta say, I don't know what my grandma did. I don't know what my grandfather did. All I know is that they were in the war sometime, and my mother took me away from the family, and we moved out somewhere else, very far away. And that's all that I knew of my family. And when I hear your stories, and when I hear Miss Charrier's her story and how she met her husband, I feel like there's so many things in my family that I missed out, and I have to.
Well,
Now you've just. I get on my soapbox now. Have you ever heard someone they get on the soapbox and preach? Listen, you find out about your family. I'm serious. Find out about your ancestors. Find out what you did. Find out who you are from where you came from. It's important. It's very important. And you're young enough, but you're clever enough to start writing it down. So you go home to your mother and you appreciate her and you say, tell me your story. And you say, and tell me my grandmother's story and my father's story. These stories are who you are. And this is where you go forward from. And you're going to have everything that I've got by the time you're my age. I can tell. You're a very, very clever fellow.
Oh, thank you.
Even if I say so.
Nan's got an amazing memory. Sometimes she mixes me up with Zach and Philip and all the others. But when it comes to everyone else in the family, she can remember who they are, what they did, and everything about it. And you can go all the way down the tree, and she'll remember everyone.
It's important, Ethan. It's important.
It's only the grandchildren and those ones who kind of the mix-up of them. But yes, I think going to see your mother will be a great opportunity to kind of learn a bit about your family and who you are.
Yeah.
Special. Obviously, you're very, very clever. And where did this come from? Somewhere along the line, you've got all the right people behind you. So you're a lucky boy. You're a lucky boy.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And he's a lucky fellow because he's got me.
Of course.
He doesn't tell me all the time, but he knows. Yeah.
And it's not like I'm the wisest about my family either. I was the one saying, man, didn't you do some kind of secretary or work or something like that?
When I was in school, I worked in a little store, and I was in the secretarial department. So he was pretty close.
Not very specific though. Just Nan kind of.
Anyway,
I have one a question for you, Nan.
this is the last one. I'm sorry, I'm running out of time here.
It's okay.
Busy schedule.
Yep. So you've been to a lot of different places and countries. Which one stood out the most to you?
That's a hard one.
Ethan, we can kind of talk as she's thinking. How's the cat doing? Doing well?
Well, she ran off somewhere.
Okay. I guess that the biggest impression was when I went to South Africa, and they were living under a totally different system than I was used to. Where we went was to Mike's sister. They lived in Pietermaritzburg in South Africa. And for me, several things. The vegetation is wonderful. The light was different. What I couldn't manage was the apartheid. I was used to greeting everybody, knowing everybody, having maids in the house, having all the caste system was disquieting for me, because in Canada we don't discriminate like that. It was a wonderful visit. I mean, the biggest decision I had to make every day was what nail polish I would put on and what outfit I would wear, because this was expected. But underlying it all was this unease. And the one story I remember is Pauline, his sister, took us to a wildlife reservation. And we were in the car, Mike's cousin and I and Pauline, and we were allowed to go into a lion's enclosure. We drove in, and the guy shut the gate behind us. And the engine died. And there we were with about 8 lions all around. And she couldn't get the car started. And it was a sort of a memorable moment, you could say. And finally, the lions started sort of prowling a little bit, you see? And the guy on the gate wasn't doing anything. He's a very small man, older. He wasn't going to come in and rescue us. So after a few sort of several panicky moments, the car started and we went out. And I can tell you, there was one shaky lady there. So that was a memorable moment that I have now shared with you. And it's still my worst nightmare, actually. Yeah.
Ever so often the lions appear in the dream.
I can see the lions. Very nice looking lions, well, healthy. Looked as if they'd been eating well, And I didn't want to be one of them. Sort of one of the meals. So there you go.
Thank you very much for having you on. Well, for coming on, Nan. and it was a pleasure to have you. Do you have any closing statements, Ethan?
Oh yeah. Well, I probably said it enough, but I think I'm gonna say it again. Mrs. Charrier, I'm so glad that I have the chance.
Susan. For goodness sakes, it's Susan. It makes me feel like I'm ancient, and I am, but I still don't like to feel like it.
I'm partly to blame. I said you say usually if it's someone senior, you say Mr. Mrs. Charrier until they tell you. Yeah. But
okay, start over again.
Okay. Susan, I just want to say I'm so glad that I have the chance to talk to you. You and your family. It's I feel like I'm a part of it somehow. Like these stories that you're telling me, I feel like there's a part of me that belong in it. And I'm Jacques' friend, knowing these stories makes me look at him a little bit different in a very good way. And I want to thank you for it. And also, your voice is very sweet. Oh my God! Like, I just want to say that thank you so much. And I hope that one day I have the chance to visit you. Maybe it is a promise. I promise you, I'll be there. I'll see all the paintings.
Okay. All I can say, Ethan, is that you are a very handsome man.
Oh, thank
and you. Have a wonderful smile, and I love your laugh. So you stay safe, and don't lose your path. Okay.
I will. I will remember everything that you said, and I will do everything. I will do my best. And thank you so much for everything. And I hope you.
So this was episode. This was episode 12 of Two Monkeys on a Microphone. Catch us next time when we interview Archie, the dog. to get the full family.
To get the full
Um,
family. Yeah.
Thank you again for watching, everyone. Have a great night or morning.